Hello, how are you? Okay, boys and girls, we are moving towards the first lecture of May June 2024 paper. Version is 42, and this paper is theoretical extended question answer. Okay, before this, before we start our solution, two important announcement is here. If anybody wants to take online classes from me, then you can contact me on my WhatsApp number, and this is my email address. And second thing is that you have to subscribe this channel as soon as possible, because after a few months I will use some privacy. Then only those students can watch my videos that have subscribed it, otherwise you have to pay me. So it's for you uh, to subscribe with. It is a very little fees of this channel. Only subscribe it, otherwise after a few months you cannot get free access. Okay, and before this, and one thing more, the paper 06541 paper version paper 41 is already uploaded, and then you can look on the right corner of the screen, where you will see the I button. Click on that button, then you can easily get the playlist of paper 41 solution. Okay, now question number one is: a load is suspended from a thread. The vertical force on the thread due to the load is 0.75 Newton. Calculate the mass of the load. This is the diagram. This is spotting point, and the load is suspended by the thread. Okay, the weight of that load is 0.75 Newton. So what you have to find? You have to find the mass of the load. It is very simple question. Weight is given, load me weight. Weight is given, W is equal to mg. You have to apply the formula. 0.7 into 5. The mass you have to measure. The value of g is 9.81. Okay, so you have to solve it. You will get 0.75 divided by 9.81. What you will find here, I will solve in front of you. uh, 0.75 divided by 9.81. 9.81, you will get 0.076. 0.076. Your mass will be 0.076 kg. Is it clear? So your answer is here. You will get easily 2 marks. First marks you have to apply the formula, then put the right values, then you have to solve it. Second question is: figure 1.1 shows the load suspended from the thread. It is already explained. A wire is attached to the load at point X and pulled horizontally to the right. The question is that you have to attach a wire to the load at point X. It means you have to attach a wire in horizontal pattern just like that, and pull it horizontally to the right, and by using this wire you have to pull the load in right direction. Okay, the tension in the horizontal wire is 1.2. This is your tension, 1.2 Newton. Okay, the tension in the thread is, which will be equal to the weight of the load. Weight of the load was 0.75, so you have to write here 0.7 into 5. Okay, Next, what you have to find by drawing the scale diagram or by calculation, determine the what you have to determine. Uh, Determine the magnitude of the resultant of the force at x due to the load and due to the tension in the y, the direction of the resultant relative to the vertical direction. Show your working. Okay, I will show it on the word file. It has written that you have to find out the resultant of this force which you have to find the value of this hypotenuse and the angle by which you have stretched the load with the help of this wire. So this angle you have to measure. So this makes a right triangle. Remember one thing more, the side in front of this angle, this one is altitude, okay, and this one is base. I will write here b. You have to find the value of this resultant, so you can solve it by using the Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so look on the word file. Yes, this is okay. Now look at that. I made the diagram similar which I have made in the on the question paper. This is the load. I have given the name A, and this is the wire. The name of the wire is B, and this is the resultant of two forces, that is C. You have to find the C. So by applying Pythagoras theorem, C will be equal to A square plus B square whole under root. Okay, the value of C, A basically represents the tension in the thread, which is equal to the load attached. Okay, I have already told you in the question. So value of A was 0.75 square plus the value of B, that is the tension in the wire that you used separate. The tension is 1.2. Then by taking the square of this one you will get this answer, and by taking the square of 1.2 you will get this one. Add both term, and by taking under root you will get 1.41 Newton. It means the tension in the string that is represented by the C, which represents the resultant of two forces A and B, will be equal to 1.41 Newton. Is it clear? And second thing which you have to measure is the angle by which you have stretched the load with the help of this wire, and this is angle is represented by the theta. And what when you have to find the direction, then you must apply the trigonometric function, that is tan theta is equal to altitude over base. I have already mentioned that the side in uh, front of theta is altitude, okay, and this side is base. Okay, tan theta is equal to altitude over base. The value of altitude was 1.2, and the value of base is a written is 0.75. So by dividing this two term and taking the inverse, tan inverse, you will get 58 degrees. Okay, then your direction of resultant force is 58 degree. So in this way you can easily solve. Basically I solved it already, so that the length should be smaller, or length of the lecture should be smaller. That's why I solved it already. So second question is, next is, you will get easily 4 marks that it has written here. Okay, next question is, the force may produce changes in the size and the shape of the object. It means when you apply the forces, you can change the size of any object and the shape of the object. Any other thing which you can change by applying the force, we can change the speed of moving object, and we can also change the we can also accelerate and decelerate. decelerate the object. Anything else? I think it has already written. You have to state only two things that I have mentioned here. Now, second question is, what is acceleration? Acceleration is very simple. The rate of change in velocity, rate of change in velocity of the moving object is called acceleration. So its formula is equal to final minus initial velocity divided by time taken. Okay, so you will get easily 1 marks here. A train has total mass of 5,20,000 kg. The train acceleration accelerates at 1.5 meter per second square. Calculate the time taken for the train to increase its speed from 15 to 28 meter per second. It means it has given that the mass of the train is this one. The train is accelerating by this acceleration, and the speed is increased from 15 meter per second to 28 meter per second. Then you have to find the time interval in which your speed increased from 15 to 28 meter per second. So apply the formula. A is equal to b minus u over t. You have to find the t is replaced with the a. You can see here t is here, a is here. V is given, final velocity is 28, initial velocity is 15, the value of a is 1.1. Then subtract these two terms, 28 minus 15, and divided by 1.1. You will get 11.8 seconds. If you want to round off, you will get 12-second time in which your train accelerates from 15 to 28 meter per second. So today you will see I have solved all the questions. The reason is that I want to make a very short video today. I am tired today. Okay, next is uh, calculate the force required to produce the acceleration of 1.1 meter per second square for this train. It has mentioned that you have to measure the force that produce acceleration of 1.1. So the mass is already given in above question, 5,20,000, and the value of acceleration is given. Multiply these two terms, you will get 5,72,000 Newton. Okay, so it means this force is required to accelerate the to accelerate the train with 1.1 meter per second square acceleration. Okay, so it is very easy question. Now moving towards the third part, that is, the train uses electric motors. Explain why the force on the train due to the motor is greater than the value calculated in question 2. It means the you have calculate the value of the force is 5,72,000. But question is here, if you wants to make if you want to accelerate the train with the same acceleration, and then why you need more force as you have calculated in question number 2. The reason is that during when speed or velocity of the train increases, then air resistance also acts on the board, acts on the train. As speed increases, the effect of air resistance also increases. That is why electric motor requires more force to maintain its acceleration. So I will write here, to overcome the air resistance and drag force. You can use both terminology, or you will get easily 1 marks here. Now question number 3. A student drops a heavy ball from a vertical height of 1.8 meter above the ground. The ball then falls to the ground. It does not bounce after hitting the ground. And I'm again repeating that if you have not subscribed this channel, kindly subscribe it, and then you can easily get a free access to all video without any fee for lifetime. Okay. Here question is, a student drops a heavy ball from a height of this one, and when it falls the ground, it does not rebounds after hitting the ground. Describe the transfer of energy of the sound between stores from when the ball begins to fall to when it reaches the ground. I will make your diagram, then you can easily understand what it has mentioned here. The diagram is okay. Basically, it has mentioned that suppose that this is the ball is dropped from a height of 1.8 meter. The ball is dropped vertically downward. Suppose this is the surface. When the ball drops or hits the ground, it is not rebounds. Why is it so? You have to mention the energy conversions from this setup to this setup. Remember, the energy possessed by a body due to its height is known as potential energy. This is your potential energy. And when bodies starts to fall from 1.5 meter height, this is the height. When body starts to fall vertical downward, then this potential energy converts into the kinetic energy, and when it hits the ground, then due to collision sound is produced and heat energy also produced. As a result, this kinetic energy during motion is converted into sound and heat energy. So you have to write all these things. I will write here: loss in potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. Second point is kinetic energy is converted into the sound and thermal energy. So you will get 3 marks easily. Question number B is calculate the maximum speed of the ball, ignore air resistance, show your working. So I will explain it in the Word file. Okay, it is very easy. Here is the loss in potential energy is equal to gain in kinetic energy. You have to, first of all, you have to modify the formula, then you have to put the value, then you can easily get out the answer. The formula of potential energy is mgh and kinetic energy is 1 by 2 mv square. This m is cut by this m, and the remaining term will be mg is equal to 1 by 2 v square. These two will be multiplied on the left side to gh to remove to cancel out the square here. You have to take square root on both sides, then you will get this formula. Okay, so value of g is 9.8. height is already mentioned in the question. Multiply these two terms and square root of the digit, you will get 5.9 meter per second. It means when ball moves uh, down in downward direction, as I have shown here, as a result it will get 5.9 meter per second speed. Okay, so I have explained here three only three questions, and in next video I will explain other uh, question. Okay, so keep in touch, stay tuned, subscribe this channel, and share it with your friends also. Goodbye.